Hello and welcome to Sarcastic Videos. Today we're going to be talking about the Netflix original comedy special, Chris D'Elia, Man on Fire. To start with, to be honest, I wasn't really that entertained by this special. I've seen this actor before, not his latest show, but the one he did with Whitney Cummings, and I thought he was funny in that. The show probably could have done better, but I liked it, and I liked him in it. But this is his first comedy special that I've seen, and yeah, it wasn't that entertaining. Not a big fan of the way he tells jokes. Like, he reminds me a lot of Dane Cook, and that's not a good thing. He tells shorter stories than Dane Cook, but still, just his presence on stage seems a lot like that. He starts out, like, this is shot in Canada. He starts out making fun of his own looks, compares himself to a tired eagle. And at first I thought he was talking about the band The Eagles. So I wasn't sure what he's talking about, but then I understand that he's talking about like a bald eagle. And because of his nose and chin and his eyes, I guess, that's what it looks like. But don't really see it. And he talks about, marrying young and getting older, the same old staples that a lot of comics use when they get into their late 30s, early 40s and beyond. They talk about marriage, they joke about getting older, how their bodies don't react the same way they did when they were younger, things like that. His pace overall is really frenetic, and he's very bro-y. And by that I mean he says a lot of like, you know what I mean, and like, and just a lot of things. Like, he laughs at himself. He really cracks himself up like a lot with the jokes and the setups. Like, before he even gets close to the punchline, he's laughing at himself. It can be I rolled my eyes a lot during this special and did not laugh very much. He talks about how people think they're special and the stars of their own movies, and compares that to people actually most likely being like extras in somebody else's movie. He talks about love, marrying young, which he did, and how that led to a bunch of just being annoyed with his girlfriend, and then who became his wife, and how he never really felt like in love or anything like that. He talks about like how now that he's older, he can stop pretending to do things, like wanting to go to parties that he doesn't want to go to, or liking presents that people buy for him, and that kind of leads him into this whole thing about a friend who bought him pants and how weird that was. He keeps calling it gay, but not as like gay as a derogatory, but gay as in, his friend's behavior was gay, which, whatever, it wasn't funny anyways. And then he goes on about people who work out and won't shut up about it because they think they're inspiring people, and he gets a little bit of a rage on for that, and how people get inspired, like what kind of people get inspired by inspirational memes or inspirational posters. Like, they were going to be doing something completely different, but now that they've seen a poster that says perseverance, now they can invent Microsoft, things like that. It was a little bit funny, but not really. The only thing that really made me laugh was at the end, when he was talking about how he doesn't want kids because they change who you are, and he wants to be like this gangster, which that part I didn't think was funny. Him, his inner monologue of gangster talk and being tough and whatever, street is what he called it. But then he talks about a friend bringing over his little girl who's 4, and how he has this whole thing with her where their conversation, he starts out all tough and everything, but as he's going on and she becomes cute and does all this stuff, that he eventually turns soft and loses his gangster edge, and that's why he doesn't like kids. So that part was funny. That's how he ended it. But overall, yeah, it wasn't that entertaining. Like, I actually stopped halfway through and did other things, did some errands because it was boring. It's all stuff I've seen before. His pace, like the frenetic pace, didn't really match because keeps cracking himself up, getting and just it's such a distraction from his jokes that you're not really entertained by a lot of them. So again, it's maybe other people would like this comedian, but I'm not a fan of what he's doing here in his special. And I haven't seen the other one, so I don't know what to compare it with. But yeah, as far as this one goes, this Chris D'Elia, Man on Fire, Netflix. It's a Netflix comedy special. I'm gonna give it a thumbs down on Netflix. And as far as a rating for me, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10. And that's Chris D'Elia, Man on Fire. So if you like this video, like, share, subscribe, or all the above. Thank you, and have a nice day.